You're checking out Multi-Tap here on YouTube or whatever platform you're listening to. Make sure you hit the comment section, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. Show some love and support. And don't forget, we on them social medias. We on them TikToks. We on them Twitters. We on them IGs. So make sure you tap in with us so you can tap out right here on Here we go. All right. How you guys doing? Once again, welcome back to the Multi-Tap. You're tapping in here with Lee Boy, Black Thor, and my co-host, the esteemed, infamous, self-proclaimed King of Games, Kruger. And we are going to be talking about today some topics that you may be interested in. Kruger, you said you had something for me today. What's going on with Xbox?
Well, I know how much of a huge fan you are about the Xbox.
I love my Xbox. You know that. You know this, man.
And you know this, man.
And I know how much of a fan you are of Sony. So I know how much you want Xbox to severely beat Sony. And one of your biggest gripes with Sony is, the exclusiveness of, certain content. And, Xbox, to combat that, has been buying up studios left and right. They acquired Bethesda. And recently they've been trying to acquire Activision Blizzard. But unfortunately, that was blocked by the CMA, which is a collective group of, the UK and the US and everybody like that. And that purchase was blocked fully, for now at least. Microsoft does plan to appeal it, but the CMA's reasoning was a little peculiar of why it was blocked. It's not really blocked as the typical means of monopoly, though I do believe that it could be more along with a monopoly. The UK specifically is the one that blocked it, right? The UK portion of the CMA, and the UK blocked it because of the way they see cloud technology going, and they're fearful because right now Microsoft is ahead when it comes to cloud technology. They're light years above every other company that's doing cloud-based stuff, and so they see it as like this acquisition is going to stunt the growth of other cloud-based gaming companies, because their content is just going to be so much, and they already have the infrastructure there. And so that was their reasoning for blocking it specifically, is because you're going to have Call of Duty on turn. That's basically the biggest part of the Activision Blizzard deal is Call of Duty, because they're not going to really do much with World of Warcraft. I can't see them putting that on Game Pass and putting that on the phones and things like that. But the biggest component was the cloud-based technology behind Microsoft, and that now they're going to acquire these terrific IPs, more specifically Call of Duty, and they're going to wind up monopolizing this cloud gaming space, not by buying everything in existence, but by basically blocking out the competition with having the stellar content that they're going to have. So I see you itching in your seat a little bit. So what do you got to say about that?
I call bullshit. And here's why I call bullshit on this. Because first of all, this is when people get ahead of the trends, this has always been the norm. This has always been the norm to get ahead of the competition. Ain't the reason why they got analysts and people that study data and those. And you like, for example, Netflix got on the wave before they were trying to get Blockbuster along the wave when they saw where streaming was going. So you meaning to tell me that because Microsoft saw the future and said, it's going to be like, for example, the whole reason why today I don't go to GameStop, I sit at home and I press a button, is because of Microsoft, because of the innovation of staying home. And this is the future. The future is going to be this. They data said, ain't nobody going to want to do this no more. Nobody goes and buys CDs no more. The future is downloading with MP3s. So you mean to tell me because Microsoft got their structure up, they're going to sit here and try to block them, while everybody else, when they were doing these other things with streaming platforms and services, everybody had to figure this out. So because they're ahead of the game and ahead of the branch, they're going to do this to them? This is bullshit. And hold on, I'm not finished. I'm not finished because Sony has been exclusively buying the rights to hold these games on their platforms. And you mean to tell me because and again, I'm an Xbox head. Everybody, anybody that don't know me, I'm gonna say it out loud. I'm loud and proud. I'm an Xbox head. I can give a damn about Sony. I will play some of Sony games when they come on a PC. I'll play a little secondhand games. I'll do that on my PC though. I'm an Xbox head. I'm a PC head more than I'm an Xbox head, but I'm an Xbox head because of the innovation that Xbox been doing. You're a Nintendo head, right? Okay, you're a Nintendo head, and a lot of Nintendo people are proud of the innovations that's been coming through on Nintendo. Sony has been holding back the industry for so long with buying exclusives. It wasn't until they started. They haven't. Their recent games have been games that's been their first party games. Like since 2, they've been doing this exclusivity stuff. Where you want to play this game, it's exclusively on here. Paying for developers to make stuff exclusively for their content.
Yeah. Well, they have it exclusive usually for like a year. And that's usually the norm that they do. Like if you take like the whole the Final Fantasy VII remake, they had that exclusively for a year. And by then the hype dies down and they launch it on PC afterwards, and nobody cares about
Nobody
it anymore.
cares after that. They know what they're doing. And not Microsoft. Sony's been doing this for years, and nobody call them out on it. Because why? Because a lot of people like Jordans or iPhones and stuff like that. They treat the PlayStation in that same degree and in that same category. And for them to sit there and block Microsoft from doing this, I'm upset at it, because it's like, y'all don't call Sony out for these same business practices and these shady deals when they come down to gaming. And all of a sudden, because these guys got their game up, because they see where the future is headed, you trying to block them. That's bullshit. I'm kind of upset that you gave me this news. I mean, this is gonna be hot, and people that's in the comments or whatever that's watching this video. If you're a PlayStation head, I don't care. Okay, if you're an Xbox head, I don't care. I'm mad at all this. This entire thing is not good for me.
Yeah, and then that's why I brought this topic to you when we were discussing it, because I knew that this would be a hot topic for you.
Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot, scorching.
Yeah, and I figured
because you know how I feel about Sony. We can literally make a whole. If you guys want to see me rant on Sony, that's a whole nother video. That's an entirely whole nother video. I can go on for days on that company. But anyway.
But yeah, I figured you didn't know. I figured you didn't know about it because I didn't get your angry rant, because I know you would have gave it to me if you would have heard it first.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah,
I know this is what you wanted.
Yeah. Oh, this it's not what I wanted. I wanted for the people. I'm a man of the people. I'm not self-proclaimed king. I'm the people's king.
You want to get under his skin, you go ahead with it. Okay,
that's what it is.
It's. I can't believe this. And now you said Sony's going to, no, not Sony. I keep saying, I'm so mad at them. Xbox is going to appeal. And where they're appealing at? America, or they're appealing overseas?
No, the UK is the one that blocked it. So they have to.
All right, so how does that work then? So America and the UK, they're working together. So that means if the UK blocks it, that means America has to be like, all right, I bet we blocking it too.
There's another component to it. Gosh, I'm trying to
like
remember.
A loophole. They had there's some kind of loophole around there.
I don't know if there's loophole, because isn't Activision? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure with Activision, but I think Activision is a UK based company.
We're gonna put that on the screen. I'm gonna make sure I pop that on here somewhere just to have that confirmed. Because if it is a UK company, then it's blocked on their end. Then maybe US was like, we got it, and then UK was like, nah.
But
I'm telling you, Sony has something to do with that. I'm telling you. No, they dropped the bug on them and was like,
I think the CMA is also a collaboration. I'm not sure if the CMA is exclusively UK or if it's a collaboration between both parties. I'm not 100%, because I know that when you deal with business overseas, like especially with China and stuff, you have to get the Republic of China involved in those type of deals. So I'm not sure how it works when it comes to the UK.
I'm telling you, Sony greased some palms, bro.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, money talks. So we don't know the speculation, but I told you, I gave you the reason that they gave, and even like some of the media outlets are echoing what you said, right? Some of the media outlets are echoing that. How are they blocking this deal when they let so many other slides? And
you know why, right? Because when the PlayStation 6 dropped, they're gonna get the first ones. The UK gonna be the first ones with the PlayStation 6. That was part of the agreement.
Yeah, I just so you guys know, this isn't completely biased. I have a PlayStation 5 and I do enjoy it. But I am a PC head first, Switch second. I don't own an Xbox because there's no reason to when you have a PC. But I do like what Microsoft has.
Oh wait, hold on. Don't. You got to finish that statement.
I am finishing it.
You got to finish that statement because you could tell them why. Tell them why. Yeah, finish it.
Yeah, I'm finishing because I have the PC can play it. That's what I said. I was about to go into it.
No, you continue. There's more to that.
No, because I was just about to say Game Pass is the best deal on the planet. I was gonna say that before you cut me off. See, you're
Sorry,
going
I'm
too
sorry.
fast.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No,
You would have provided,
didn't
and you'd
want the
have to pay
people.
me insurance money.
I didn't want the people to come here to see that you said you had an unbiased opinion because you do own a PlayStation 5.
Right.
But then you
Right.
said I don't own an Xbox because I own a piece. There's no need for me to own an Xbox
Right.
because I own a PC. I didn't want you to just leave it at that.
No, I
But
wasn't.
to
I was gonna.
explain,
You can't say that and not mention the Ultimate Game Pass, right? Because you can't sit there and say that every game. The reason I don't own an Xbox is because I can play all those games on a PC, which I think is a gift for me and a curse for Xbox because I'm not going to give them hardware sales. You know, I'm going to give them Game Pass money, but their hardware is lost on me completely. You know,
well, I gotta say this because this was you off camera. This is you.
but I know. I know
Before
what
we
you're
even
supposed to say.
started multi-tap, this is
I know what
you.
you're doing.
You said it yourself that they don't care about you with the consoles no
No.
more because
I
they
said-
see where the future is at. They know that it's moving away from you owning the actual hardware, that it's in the software.
Yeah.
So
And I think I told you. I think I told you this before the um the Xbox Series was even mentioned. I think this was we were talking about the Xbox One when I started mentioning this when they first dropped the Game Pass, and I told you that the new system wasn't going to sell as much as the PlayStation 5. That was my prediction. I said because they don't care about console sales right now. The console sales are just for the people that don't have the devices. But I think their end game is to actually put Game Pass on everything from TVs. I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up on the Switch. The only thing is that they're gonna have to play. Xbox is willing to play ball with Sony. It's Sony that doesn't want to play ball with Xbox. And I think if they were to ever get Game Pass on PlayStation 5, that's it. That'll be it. Because you have that whole user base, and now they can play all those games on Game Pass. And Microsoft just wants subscriptions. You know, that's where it's at because I'm a
they see the
testament.
trend.
I don't think I've played an Xbox game since you and I have played Grounded, and that was like what, a year ago, maybe 8 months ago. But I have had that subscription for 8 months, and it's just sitting there and accumulating. So that's what they want. They want that subscription revenue, that whole service thing, and they're trying to expand in as many markets as they can. This was supposed to help them because you have Call of Duty, and then you can put it on any device. You know, you could essentially even hook up a controller to your TV, not even hook up a controller, use the Bluetooth function from your TV, and you can play it straight from your TV. And now imagine that capability that because I have a Android Sony TV. I have an Android Sony TV, and I can do that with the Xbox app, right? Imagine that just on any TV. You don't need a box, you don't need a PC, you don't need an expensive phone. Most people have TVs.
Right.
Imagine it delivered to your TV. You just have a controller, a Bluetooth controller. You hook it up, and there you go. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want the subscriptions. But
they want a
this
better
was supposed to
version
help them.
of Google Stadia.
Yeah,
A way better version than that, and that's all you really need. Because if your phone, if you can play a AAA game that doesn't require a console straight to your phone or your tablet or your TV, like you said, then what's the need of having a console in the first place?
yeah, just
They're getting ahead of the curve with the subscription stuff.
Yeah, and Steam to a lesser degree, like I showed you when I was playing Hogwarts, you know, on my tablet.
Right.
Steam is pretty good with that. So just imagine that, but Steam doesn't charge a subscription fee for that. They allow you to do that just because it's your Steam library. So Game
Right.
Pass does have that one up even on Steam because it is just a service base, and you can play old games like Fable, you know, and all the other games that they have, which is fantastic. It's the best. I think it's the best deal in gaming right now, to be honest with you. You know, but there is other bad news for Xbox. So
Wait, you not turning this into a rainy day for Xbox, and especially for me. What are you talking about? More bad news. What are you talking about?
the weatherman does not deliver rain. He just tells the forecast.
What the does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Okay. So one of their biggest acquisitions was Bethesda. And we haven't gotten really a release from Bethesda, and I think it's been 2 years, right? They just released their first AAA game, and it was supposed to be a huge hit. It was going to be, I think it's live service-esque. It's more co-op than anything, but it's called Redfall.
I was about to say that Redfall. Okay,
Redfall.
What about it?
So a lot of people are not enjoying it because from what I hear, it's a horrible solo experience. It could be pretty fun with friends, but it's not as deep of a game as you would expect it to be. And you know, we even seen this in our circle. You know, one of the biggest co-op fans in our play squad is not interested in the game anymore. and that's not without even playing it. It's just that because of all the bad press. I don't want to mention the name here, but that's even that's because of the not even the bad press, the bad Steam reviews is what's driving that, because people are not having fun at all. And now, as much as you and I love multiplayer, and I was going to go into this with you earlier when we started talking about the MMO state of state of MMOs currently, and you need good solo experience, because majority of players, even though they're playing online, they prefer to play online solo, right? That if you look at Call of Duty, most of the players are solo. They just join up to the random teams or the random death matches or the random battle royales, and they play the game solo. The same as with the MMOs. The reason why you have mostly a solo leveling experience in MMOs is because MMOs were dying when you and I were playing them. They were not sustainable. It was only the group players that were keeping it up, and that wasn't enough numbers. So when they wound up doing solo play, they wound up finding a lot of success with that, because people don't have times to sit there and wait 3 hours for a good group to go 4 hours for XP and then de-level, like a certain game that you and I both know happened. Right.
Love
So
it.
people don't have that experience. So you need that solo experience. So I think that's what's happening with Redfall, is that it doesn't have a fantastic solo experience, and that's going to be your majority base. And if they're not playing that solo experience, then that means even the co-op experience is going to suffer, because you have to queue up, right? You queue up for something, and if nobody's playing it, then you don't have nobody to co-op with. So I think it's just going to suffer overall, and it doesn't look good for them coming out the gate with that. And so they're going to have to really step it up. They're going to have to deliver with Starfall.
Well, I heard that there's the Xbox thing that's coming out soon that's gonna showcase and put Starfield in like its
I call it
own
Starfall.
thing. Huh?
I call it Starfall. Starfield, you're right.
Did I just call it Starfall?
No, you said it right. I said it wrong.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they're supposed to have their own little thing coming soon. I think it's an Xbox event that's about to happen soon. I think we're moving into the E3 season, the video game season, where a whole bunch of video game stuff is supposed to be dropping soon, right?
Yeah, but you know E3 is canceled though.
Really?
Yeah, E3 is canceled again. They can't seem to pull it together since the pandemic started. So Jeff Keighley's Summer of Game Fest is what takes over. E3 is canceled. So they officially canceled it, I believe 2 months back. They officially canceled it. But Jeff Keighley is going along with his Summer of Game Fest, and that's where most of the people are going. Because remember, Nintendo hasn't been at E3 for maybe 15 years now. They do their separate Treehouse event around E3 timing, and then
that's what I'm saying. Around that time is where we start to get, like, around E3 time, whether it's E3 or not. Around that time, we start to get a whole bunch of previews of the up and coming games for the year and whatnot.
Yeah, I can't see them bringing E3 back. I just can't. I think E3 is done. I think it's just going to be Summer Game Fest. I think Jeff Keighley is doing it good because he's not charging like all this exorbitant amount for the booths and things like that. It's basically mostly a digital event, and everybody can attend, and you don't have to go there and go into the not so sanitary convention centers. So
okay.
So Summer Game Fest is on, E3 is canceled. So
okay.
I think sooner or later we're going to have to address the fact that we can't call it E3 season anymore, because that's going to be gone.
Man, it's been a part of the culture for a minute.
For a long time.
For a minute, man. That's like when we stopped picking up game magazines. Remember back in the day, that was the shiz.
Yeah.
Picking up the game magazines. They used to fiend for the next month game book and read even games I didn't care about. I would read about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like buying a game magazine was an experience. You don't have that no more. And I mean, you can easily subscribe to that same game magazine's website, but it was nothing like having that physical copy of that game magazine in your hand and just reading it and just looking at the pictures. And remember, internet wasn't around during that time. So this is what we had before then. Now we're so used to the internet and so used to information coming to us that the magazine just seems useless. But it was an experience back then. But we don't get that no more. So I can see what you're saying when may not be called E3 event no more. Some of E3 may be gone soon.
Yeah, and it's happening a lot actually to the websites. The same thing that happened with the gaming magazines, where they all went out of business. It's essentially happening to these websites because a lot of these websites they rely on early copies, And a lot of these gaming companies are getting hip to that, hey, we don't need these websites because nobody's really going there. So Kotaku right now is in hot water for leaking some Zelda stuff, because they've been blacklisted by Nintendo for advanced stuff in the past. And so Kotaku was making a complaint that they didn't receive an early copy of Tears of the Kingdom. And so because of that, they're complaining. They wound up getting hold to leaks, and they wound up leaking information to Zelda. So if you're a fan of Tears of the Kingdom, stay away from like Kotaku or any of that atmosphere. You might want to stay off the internet for a couple of more weeks until Zelda comes out, because you're gonna get spoiled.